Sitting here on the steps leading to the pool. And look at that. It's a very interesting pool. You can actually see what's going on when people are in there. And of course, as I respect people's privacy, when persons are there, I don't sit here, but it's all empty. Everybody's gone. I guess people have gone down to shower and change and maybe rest up, because in this area in Playa, the nighttime is when everything comes alive. So yeah, so I decided it's so nice and cool, I would just sit out here and chill a little bit. So yeah, so at this point I wanted to continue just talking a little bit more about who Sherry says really is and how the name came about. And so all of this started as I decided to differentiate the two channels that we have on YouTube. And so Sherry Says is a place where I just talk about the things that are on my mind, things that are current, things that affect me, life, living, and all of that. Yeah, so I'm looking all over the place because I just can't look directly in the camera consistently. I don't know why, because it's really difficult to just focus on a screen. I'm sure I'll get better at it as time goes by. But yeah, so there was a podcast that we started, my son and I, Desroy, and it was born because all these stimulating conversations were happening that I figured we should capture. And it was all voice, no visual. And so we have a lot of those that we have hosted on what was anchor.com or anchor.fm. I'm not sure what the actual address was because they were taken over by Spotify. But we had a lot of conversation, life events, just thoughts, all of that. And as we transitioned a little bit, or as I was encouraged to start writing, I wrote the prompt journals. And so those were also shared here on Sherry Says. You know, it's interesting because even though the channel is entitled Sherry Says, going back to my childhood, I was not allowed to have a voice many times. I was a very opinionated girl, but I was always told to shut up, not to voice thoughts that were not in keeping with the general thought processes of everybody else. So very soon I became very quiet, but my thoughts remained with me. But like everything else, if you bottle it up, it's gonna overflow. And as I grew older and I kept being more quiet, my thoughts were getting the better of me. And I realized that a lot of what I was thinking was what others were thinking of me. And they were never good thoughts. You know, I was thinking, oh, they're thinking, oh, she's so short. Oh, she's so fat. Oh, her shoes are just not as nice as they should be. And then on occasion, somebody would say something very not nice to my face, and it would just send me spiraling, and I would crawl right back into my shell and of course continue to think negative thoughts. And as strange as this might seem, I lived my entire adult life like that. I spoke positive thoughts. Well, I spoke positively to people. I was misencourager, but I would never encourage myself, and I would never be speaking very positively to myself. And would you all believe me that it took my son to be born, to grow, and to become an adult to tell me, Mommy, people are not thinking what you think they're thinking. People are going along, minding their own business. They have all of their own issues. They really don't give a hoot about you. And that was kind of a hard pill to swallow. But you know, I've discovered I lost so many creative years being insecure, thinking what others would think about me. And it's cultural, it's a cultural thing, you know, being from the Caribbean, being from Jamaica, growing up in an environment where what people think of you matter. It matters so much that you think the most negative things of yourself, believing that others are thinking the exact same thing. When in all honesty, especially like what my son says to me, they are probably not even thinking about me. So as I started to let go of that, I also let go of some negative people. I discovered as the letting go continued that too many of the people I had in my life were negative people. They were heavy, they were like nooses around my neck. They continued to share the negative thoughts and conversations that were not taking me anywhere. I was growing as a person. I had already made the bold step to go into business for myself. I was struggling, but when you have pumped everything you've got into what you're doing, you have no plan B. You have nothing to go back to. And so I was pushing forward with faith, believing that someday things would get better. And I got enough of a taste of what this business can do to want to see it through. But you know, in life and with many things that you have, it becomes a lonely road. And so here I am, started this business. Oh my goodness. I started as a sole trader in 2009, selling travel on a small scale, you know, doing things locally. And it grew. I wouldn't say it blew up, but it grew, and it was able to sustain me and my family. And I changed over to becoming a limited liability company, LLC equivalent. And so it's been from 2009 to now. And this is what I'm doing. This is what I have been doing. It pays the bills, it takes care of me. I have the potential to do more. I have the knowledge to support even more clients and the ability to do even more awe-inspiring trips, and I am in position to accept those requests as they come. But right now, this is where I'm at a stage. I didn't plan it, but I wished it, to just travel and rest. It was never something that happened with a carefully laid out plan. And I will talk about it over the next few weeks and months, how it just unfolded and how it continues to unfold. I'm living my life in segments of 7 days. So I really don't plan so far ahead anymore. And it's by faith. It's a faith walk. It's a faith journey. But I tell you one thing, I've stopped obsessing over things. I've stopped thinking what could happen, because if it will happen, it will. And when it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. So far, I've been good. I've been healthy. I have never been without where to lay my head. I have not been hungry, and I'm going along. So this is called lifing. This is called living. And the thought that drives me is that now, with all that has happened to my body, my health, I don't know if I have days, weeks, months, years. There's no guarantee. So why not just live now? So yeah, this part right here is called life in. So I'm going to encourage you to just live. You know, you might not be able to do what I'm doing. I didn't even know I could do what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. So think about what you want to do. Take one small step and then another, because guess what? Whether you walk fast or slow, it's always just one foot in front of the other. So yeah, that's what Cherry has to say for now. It's getting dark, so I'm gonna wrap this up, but I'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now.